You'll notice as soon as you open the window you get a circular reference warning. That means one of your formulas is pointing to itself or something that has to be calculated first. If I click on B4 and look in the function window, you'll notice that we have a little bit of a mess up here. We've got B4, which is itself. You can't reference the cell that you're in. B4 minus B13 plus count 55,640. This is pretty much incorrect. You can click on any of these cells and see what you have placed in there. B4 to B13, because of the colon, that means from B4 to B13 down here. I think it's probably just mainly this cell here that we need to look at. To fix this cell, pretty much we don't want any reference in there. That's supposed to be a number. So how much did Sadie spend on groceries? If we want 0, that's fine. We can put in 0. If we want a dollar amount, we can put in dollar amount. I'm going to put $5. So I'm going to put a 5 and I'm going to check it to accept it. It's already formatted as accounting, which you can see up here. So it automatically makes it $5. That's all that should be in that cell, is a number. So we're going to look at these cells and make sure they only have numbers in them, which they do. Now what we want to do is sum. Now you have totaled this column by going B13 plus B9, which is up here. You skip the zeros, plus B8, 7, and 6. But now I have B4, and that's not going to be included in that total because you didn't put a B4 here. So instead of selecting each of these cells individually, you're supposed to use the sum function. To do that, I'm going to go on to B14, pretend there was nothing here. I'm going to start with an equal sign. Actually, pretend there is nothing here. I can just do an auto sum. So in the upper right over here is my auto sum. If I click on that, it's going to give me the correct setup. Sum, parenthesis, B4, which is the cell at the top, to the colon means all the way through, B13, which is the cell phone cell at the bottom. All I have to do is check to accept that, and you can see we've got a total here. Now, if I go in and change any of these cells, I add a $10 here, it's going to be reflected in my total down here because I'm summing the entire column. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go through and make sure all of these are like that. So like this cell, C4, it should just be a number. So you are totaling B14 to B13, which you don't want. So you're going to have a number. Let's say we're going to go $10 here and check that. So these should only be numbers, and then come down here, and instead of the add, you want to get rid of it and just do a sum. You can type in a sum if you want. You can type in equals, SUM, parenthesis, and then highlight the cells, and you can adjust these cells to whatever you want, but we want the whole column, and then just accept it. And then again, if you change one of these, the whole thing changes. This is a giant calculator, and that's what it's for, so that we don't have to go back and redo all this stuff. Now count's a little different. On the count, it looks like you actually have it correct. Let's go do it again. I'm going to delete this. So I'm going to go, I can do two ways. I can go equals and I can type in count. It's going to give me this drop down, and I want to choose count. Okay, it counts the number of cells in a range, and then I just set my range, and I don't want the total, I just want the items, and then I check, and that accepts it. So I have 10 items here. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if this is going to be none, we need to put none, getting rid of the zeros. That won't mess up your total, but it will fix your count. So now my count shows that I have 7 items. And again, that's what you want to do throughout here. So it's reading these zeros as an item, and we don't want the count to read that. We want to read it as not an item. And to do that, it has to be blank. But this sum is still totaling the column, including anything if I put here. Now if I put in $20, I've got a count of 8, and I went up to a total of $211. I hope that helps.